Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be making Paneer Cheese, the third cheese in our cheese month. Today's recipe is dead simple. All you need is white vinegar and a lot of milk. I had like roughly 1 litre and roughly 2 tablespoons of vinegar. So first of all, you're just going to be pouring all of your milk into a pot, and then you're going to be continuously stirring it until it has reached boiling point, so stick the heat on high. Now the reason for continuously stirring it is heated milk tends to form a dry, like gross layer on top if it's just sitting still, so you need to keep on stirring it. It doesn't take too long to boil, especially if you just stick the heat right up to the top, so it should be fine. It shouldn't take that long, so it's not too much of an annoying problem. So now it has just reached boiling point, the milk will rise a little. Try to switch off the element before it overflows, obviously, because this happens rather quickly. But once it froths up like then it's obviously boiling. Turn the element off completely and then stir it for a little bit until it lowers enough so that, you know, adding more liquid isn't going to make it spill over the edge. And after that you're going to add a cup of cold water. That is because once you pour this into the muslin cloth and everything, you're going to need it to be cold, otherwise you're not going to be able to handle it. So now add your vinegar gradually. I used roughly 1.5 tablespoons of leaf. I don't think it was quite 2 tablespoons, and it easily did the trick. So I added in half a tablespoon first, gave it a little bit of a stir, just stir it slowly and gently. Straight away you'll start seeing the curds separating and becoming lumpy. And then add another little bit of vinegar and then just keep on going. You should definitely not need more than 2 tablespoons. Now at this point it doesn't look beautifully appealing, I know. There are lumps of this funny, clotted, white, mouldy looking stuff and all this very transparent, yellowy looking liquid. But that is indeed the curd, and it is split away completely from the rest of the milk, basically, so that it kind of looks like water now. And so now we need to separate the liquid from the curd or cheese. The separation of the curd from the rest of the milk happened fairly quickly. It didn't take more than a minute or so don't be impatient with it, it happens very quickly. So now in order to separate the curd from the rest of the liquid, we get a big container. I chose my largest pot, and then I put my sieve or sieve over it, or however you're supposed to say it. I got all my muslin cloths, the cheesecloth. I used one of my big square pieces of cheesecloth, and you lay or drape it over both the container and the sieve, and then we will pour the liquid and curd into the sieve, and all the liquid will go into the pot underneath. If your container is not big enough, you may need to empty it out halfway through. Just lift up the sieve, tip the pot out, and then put the sieve back down on the pot again. You know, whatever works. And then directly after that, you need to remove the sieve from the pot or container or whatever, stick it under the cold tap and wash out the curd straight away. So just let the cold water tap run very gently into the sieve, like you can see me doing here, and just run your hands through and clean it all out, make sure there's no whey left or anything like that. So now we need to completely drain the curds of, you know, any excess water and any excess whey as well. As well as that though, because it's just all lumpy and separated at the moment, we need to press it while it's sitting. That'll get the last of the liquid out, and also of course form it, or force it to form into a square block, so they'll be easy to chop up and fry or do whatever we want with it later. So I'm not too fussy over what I use for a weight, so I just use my can of ghee. I'd only used a tiny bit in the bottom, I'd only just opened it up the other day, so, you know, it's like hard liquid, it's pretty heavy. And I just set that over the top of it long ways, and then I covered it with a cloth, and you wait roughly 30 to 45 minutes. Should easily be enough time for it to have been completely pressed down. Make sure, of course, when you do this, that it is over a sieve or a sieve plate or whatever, so that any more liquid that comes out will continue to drain. Unwrap it 45 minutes later and you have a block of cheese. So just an example, this is what I usually use it for. Chop it up into cubes and mix it in your favourite curry. There will be a recipe for this. This is salmon curry. This is one of my favourite cheeses. The first time that I tasted Paneer Cheese, I thought it was simply amazing, and just simply because it is almost next to no hassle. There's no kit, there's no sanitizing anything, there's no really long waiting periods. I think the most you wait is the 45 minutes when you're just waiting for it to be molded into a block. It's the perfect thing to use for so many things because it's like halloumi cheese. It does not melt when you cook it, which is why it's used greatly by the Indians for curries and stuff. So you can heat this, you can fry it, you can stick it in anything where you want cheese but you need it to stay together. So there we go for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Try it out if it looks tasty. It is really, really good. I'll catch you next time.